What's your opinion, Allana, on free trials?
We have done them. It gave us a big leads list.
I hate free trials.
Yeah, I don't like them either.
I think they're the worst thing that have ever touched the fitness industry.
Yeah, I agree.
It is very hard to take someone from free to a full paying member. Hi, my name's Jayme.
Hi, my name's Allana.
I'm Mitch.
Together we have 32 years industry experience with Pilates and fitness businesses. Together we've opened up 21 studios.
I am the CEO of Muse Pilates. I have 14 studios, 4 of which are franchisees.
And Jayme and I have worked with over 600 studios across 4 different countries.
Episode 6, and we're back again. My name is Jayme and I'm with Mitch and Allana. How are you guys doing?
Hello.
Really
I'm doing
good.
Great.
So, quick story. We had no idea what an issue it was for Pilates studio owners to convert intros into members. Again, which is why we wanted to create a separate podcast called the Business of Pilates Podcast. We come from the functional world. We come from the combat world. We work with a wide range of studios across multiple countries. Fitness studios would convert like 90%. Combat studios, same thing, about 90%. So the intro to conversion percentage is through the roof. And we've heard some shocking statistics in Pilates, like sometimes as low as 10, 15, 20, 30%. Do you want to expand on that?
Yeah, I think so many people come through just to check it out. They might go and check out 10 studios. They're usually a really cheap offer. So they'll get classes for $5, $10 each, usually.
Yeah.
It's a great, cheap way to try lots of different places and be non-committal.
Do you remember a certain member of ours back in the day? She tried every F45 studio, and there was 8 of them at Newcastle at the time. And
Well, 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks.
I mean, that's half
16
a
weeks
year.
of free
Like,
training.
Yeah.
And she was telling me, and my blood was boiling. That's
Yeah.
how they get paid. That's how I get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want those people hopping around if you can help it.
Yeah.
Did it surprise you, the conversion percentage for Pilates studios in particular, compared to what we've experienced in the past?
I always thought it would be lower because when we're talking about the other
Modalities?
like they're either coming in on like a higher priced offer or it's like a 1 session free and then they're sort of converting them straight after. But historically, like Pilates studios are like a 5 for 50 or
They're cheap.
So it's cheap. So
Yep.
then the jump from that price to like your full membership price is pretty substantial. And combined with people maybe just hopping around trying different ones, you just, like you said, there's not much commitment there. Combined with not really having a process there, but the jump in price is always a hard one.
And
to
following
overcome.
from last episode's sales, again, like if the instructor is the person that is closing the intro to membership, maybe the sales ability isn't there, the sales conversation, not feeling comfortable, it all goes through.
Yeah, exactly. You need it all aligned. And I think it comes back to who's going to be doing that and then making sure that you have a sound process, which I think we're going to go through.
I
before
think
we
that
get
it's
into
really important to know that like the instructors don't have time. Like
Okay.
they could hand out a flyer, they can, tell people options. They are in between classes,
Yeah.
making sure people feel comfortable in the room, on the bed. They don't have time. Like that's my personal opinion.
So Captain Dipshit over here,
Yeah.
Mitch, made every mistake in the book growing our studios. However, we actually had a 15-minute break in between sessions.
Yeah.
So one of us could close the person. So
Yeah.
we had a
That was
15-minute break. And like, there's a few things we got lucky on. That was one of them.
But did the fitness instructors who work with you close
Oh,
people or
no,
just
it
you
was
guys?
us at the time, and then
Yeah.
in the future, our fitness
Yeah.
instructors
Yeah,
could.
very different trying to get in.
It's very different.
Yeah.
So let's wind back the clock to not an instructor,
Mhm.
to bright-eyed, bushy tail, 29-year-old, keep using your age on the podcast, Allana.
People are going to be able to pick my
Yeah.
birthday with my passwords
Allana
and shit.
opened up.
soon.
Yeah, why don't you just give a credit card number out?
So you opened the first studio.
Yep.
And you had that process commence for you, commencing intros and memberships. What did you do?
Yeah.
Was it fly by the seat of your pants? Was it be nice? Was it, I'm going to get that card number again? How did you do it?
If someone came through an intro offer, how
Yeah.
did I convert them?
Yeah, when you were in the
geez,
studio.
This is a really long time ago. Calls and emails and texts.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't in the studio all the time. I taught some of the classes, not all of them.
You probably didn't need much of one back then. Probably people would
Yeah.
just say, hey, how do I sign up?
Yeah.
And then you'd be
a
like,
lot
here
of
it is.
people.
Do you sign up?
Yeah. They came in, saw the beautiful space, reformers.
And
studio,
I think that
like-
that's,
Again, the
you know,
purpose for the podcast,
Yeah.
6 years later.
we've seen it where people will tell us flat out, be like, people, same as CrossFit F45,
Yeah.
people used to just come in and trial and then come and ask me, hey, how do I sign up for
Yeah.
membership? And then you
do
just,
it themselves.
and then you'd be like, hey, you just do this. Like they wouldn't even walk it through with them. You just
Yeah.
do
So
it there.
we,
It's on the
we-
website.
We work with plenty of studios where like they can't actually enroll the studios themselves. They have to do it through the app in their own time.
Mm.
And that is the exact opposite of everything we learn about sales and marketing. Like, you should be in control of that conversation. You should walk them through that process and help them literally like stand over their shoulder while they sign up.
Well, we used to have the old pen and pad, like
Yeah,
in early
membership pad.
2015
Old
through
school.
to 2018 or 19. Like, yeah, we would have the pad and they would fill it all out and then sign and then we'd enter that.
I was
What you'll
supposed to give them a
find-
yellow copy, but always forgot.
Yeah.
What you'll find with a lot of studios, though, boutique studios, there's not a separate reception area. It's
Yeah.
in there. Like, it's not that you don't even if you had pen and paper, you wouldn't be doing it. Like, the instructors aren't doing that.
Yeah.
In, out, you've got 10 minutes in between. By the time, you make sure the space is great, next people in, they don't have time.
No.
If you
I don't
combine
agree with
that
it.
with the cheap intros with more competition, I guess that's
Yeah.
why the conversion percentage is so low.
Yeah.
All the more need to have a process that's not done in person. And
Yep.
obviously picking up your phone, which is very useful for this, and being able to have quality conversations that way to help get people.
It needs to be a
converted.
part of the process. Like, the in-studio experience and the instructor focusing on the class and
Yeah.
the people walking through the door, so important, and that is part of it. But the back end
Yeah.
process.
We should all look down at camera and say, we assume that you already run a good session.
Yeah, exactly.
That is, yeah, which we feel most people do.
Oh, yeah.
That's
most people are
what,
good.
yeah. So, and that's where instructor focuses on that. And maybe, obviously, if the instructor's not doing it, means that the owner's probably doing it,
Yeah.
or if they have a manager.
Yep.
And sometimes there can be a little bit of a handoff if you have a good communication system where the instructor will say, oh, I was chatting to Sally today and she said she's enjoying it and asked about membership.
Yep.
And you're like, great, I'm going to contact Sally and get her signed up.
Yeah.
So the two most important things when converting trials is, I'm going to start with number one, are you driving usage? If they've bought 4 for 80, have they done their 4 sessions?
Yep.
Are people not coming in for their first? Are people dropping out of their second? Do they ghost you after their third? Making sure that you're absolutely driving usage, and we'll get into how you do that in a minute. But the second thing is are you actually tracking your conversion percentage? If I had $1 for every time a studio said, oh, I just need to get them through the front door. I never leave Alana, come through the front door,
I convert pretty much
convert
everyone.
100% of them. It's just not true.
The usage one is interesting because it seems obvious, but I guess it's not. But if they don't make the most of that first week or the first intro package, then in their mind they're already thinking, "Oh, I haven't even really made use of this."
I wouldn't
First-
I wouldn't use a membership.
Yeah,
if
like
I can't
that-
even use 4 in 2
Exactly.
weeks.
So that's
Yeah.
why it is so important that they are getting what they pay for initially, and then, as we all know, when people, especially if they have had a layoff from exercise, when they start something new, they feel amazing after each session. They want to come to the next one, and after 2 or 3, they feel like a new person.
Well, it's back to like inverted thinking. Like, if they use all 4 sessions and they really enjoy the product, they'll probably sign up with, like, if you have the worst sales process ever.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you, if they don't use the 4 sessions,
Yep.
they're not going to sign up.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is your goal. Get them to use the sessions.
And we're in such a unique industry that every time you come to a workout or a session, you get all these positive endorphins and you actually just feel like so good.
Yeah.
So they are more likely to make an ongoing commitment if they have had that feeling, either currently, like if you're talking to them after the session or after the first few, because they can associate this with feeling good.
Yep.
And there's
Where do
not,
I sign?
yeah, there's not a whole lot of services that can really do
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
The whole tracking percentage is really, really important, because, like, if you understand that 5 out of 10 join, and you understand that out of those 10 people that join, you needed 50 leads. Out of those 50 leads, you need to make 100 phone
Yeah,
calls.
it's
You
just
can
math.
you can literally reverse engineer your business. And you said sales is sexy. Math is not a sexy topic in the Pilates studio industry.
No, it's
Not in any.
No.
In the industry. Not industry.
Really?
Yeah.
No one likes
Math.
most math. But and it doesn't have to be complex either. Like
No.
it's really
Yeah.
just working
Yeah,
out.
it's working backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
and
do you
e-
want to be?
And even if you're shocking at maths, like you can very quickly work
Yeah.
that out. But you need to track.
Yeah.
You need to
Yeah.
have some data collection.
I think it'd be really interesting to, if you have a Pilates studio and you saw intros, 5 for 50, 4 for 80, whatever you do, like, what percentage of your clients get through the entire amount of those sessions in the right frame time, in the right time?
Yeah.
And then from those clients, what percentage join?
Yep.
And I guarantee you that would be the highest percentage number.
Yeah. The more they come, the higher
Yeah.
the conversion.
And you'd probably have a section too where, like, okay, if they come to the first session, there's a 95% chance they come to the second session. So how can I get that to 100?
Yeah.
Right. So there will be like a drop-off point. In any membership business, there's drop-off points.
Yeah, because if you think through like how we are as human beings, if you pay money, you want to get what you paid for.
Yep.
So even if people aren't thinking about that logically, like I said before, like if you're paying and then you don't even make use of that initially, like that
you won't
chance,
think that it was good value,
No.
even if you couldn't get there.
and then the $80 a week membership in the back of their mind, they're like, God, I didn't even make it twice in my first week.
Yeah,
Like,
everything's expensive if you don't use it.
yeah,
Yeah, of course.
exactly. And everything's good value if you do.
What's your opinion, Allana, on free trials?
We have done them. We've played around. It gave us a big leads list.
Big leads list. I hate free trials.
Yeah, I don't like them either.
I think they're the worst thing that have ever touched the fitness industry.
I think there's a time and a place.
I think bring a friend for free.
Yep.
I think open days.
Yep.
But the ongoing offer is come in and try the gym for free. Like I hate so much.
Yeah, I agree.
I think if you are dead, like if there is not one ass on a reformer,
Yeah.
you've got nothing to lose. Or, like,
Yeah. But here's the thing too, like people offer free trials and their studios aren't full. And they'll come onto the call with me. It's like, oh, like I'm worried about charging something. I said, well, if price was the only factor and people valued free shit, your studio would be full.
Yeah.
And it's one of those fall off their chair moments. And you know what else? It's really demoralizing if you can't give away your amazing product for free.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, it's a terrible feeling.
But it attracts a certain type of person when it's free.
Yep.
Plus, you've got no buy-in. So if you talk with someone and you're like, "Hey, come in tomorrow, like for
They
free,"
will book in and they will not show up
Like-
because they have not
I'm
put
thinking
their...
about your episode 2 comment about people stealing Pilates socks.
Oh,
They come in for free. They take a pair of socks.
and
But
they
they,
f- off and
they got no skin in the game.
no, exactly.
So
Yeah.
maybe there is a certain situation for. We're talking about cold traffic. I think for warm
Yeah.
traffic, it makes sense. And an old member coming back,
Yes.
okay, like come
Yeah.
in, do a
Hey,
free
you
class,
haven't
we'll have a
been
chat.
in the past 6 months.
Yeah.
We'd absolutely
Yeah.
love to get you back in for a
But
free class.
cold traffic, no.
Yeah.
When you talk about anything like free trials, there is the exception to every rule. We're
Yep.
talking about the vast majority
Yep.
of people that come through the front door. I think free is terrible. And I'm not going to get into the client fund acquisition conversation today. We will one day. But yeah, and like for us personally, like I don't care how technical of a salesperson you are. I can give you the world's best script. You can put in all the activity in the world.
Yeah.
It is very hard to take someone from free to a full paying member.
And I think you guys actually changed your intro offer a few months ago from cheaper to a little more.
It was 49 and we changed it to 79.
Yeah.
So 4 classes for 49 over 2 weeks. We changed that
yeah, I
price
think
point to 79.
I remember that. I'm kind of a part of that, but it wasn't free, but it was hard to convert people from 49 for 2 weeks into your full price.
Yeah, so we
$65
we
a
have
week
found
membership.
that more people convert on the higher
And
priced offer.
Exactly. And that's where, I had all the data to kind of support that. So
Yeah.
you could kind of say, okay, maybe we're getting a few less people in, but we're having such like more people those join
Yep.
in overall volume. So it kind of makes
Yeah.
sense.
And if you get
Exactly.
100 people in and convert 90, that's better than getting 200 people in and converting 50.
Yep.
Because those 150 that didn't convert, they probably would have came about one time on a high intro and more likely to convert.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
you really can burn through an audience.
Yeah. And we, coming from functional fitness and, a lot of the people we work with and us personally, like it was actually hard for us to get people in to trial.
Mm.
Whereas Pilates, that's never been an issue. You guys can have intro offers coming and people pay their $50 and you can have a ton of them.
Yep.
The issue becomes converting them from that into a membership. And that's where we're yet to meet an owner who's like, yeah, I love having people come through who are like pretty cheap and, looking for, cheap stuff. Like it just doesn't happen. So having that slightly higher price.
So
I think
why
has
do
been
people
helpful.
do free trials? Why do people think it's a good idea?
They just don't know any better. And they think that's how everyone does it.
I think it's if somebody was in here, they would see how amazing it was and they would just sign up.
I disagree with both of you.
What do you think?
I think people would think, I wouldn't sign up before trying it
Or they're
for
just,
free.
they're
No.
worried about asking for money before they come in.
Yeah.
Like it's a
They're-
combination.
They're all great points.
Yeah.
So what was your point? Recap it. Forgot.
They just don't know. Like they think, of course you come in for something free, and then
Because
you,
it's the done thing.
maybe not so
Like
much in
it's-
Pilates,
Yeah.
and I don't think free is really in Pilates anymore. Like I can't
No, there is 14 days free. I see it all the time.
really.
Yeah.
We tried 14 days free a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I think it's probably just sort of
Tried it.
like it's an app. I'm going to get so many people through, and then they'll see how
They'll
amazing
fall
it
in love with
is.
it and they'll
Yeah.
And
they'll sign up.
the logic it's not bad logic. It just doesn't really pan out
Yeah.
that way. And especially when you only have so many beds available, like it's a
Yeah.
quick way to
Yeah.
get your members offside if they can't
Yeah.
make the classes. They
And going
want.
back to inverted thinking, imagine if you have free trials and you don't drive usage. So people opt in, they agree to come in for free, they don't use the sessions, 0% sign up.
Yeah.
Versus someone that pays the right price from day one, they use all 4 sessions, they're probably going to sign up. So like, I always think about what is the opposite? Like, how could you ruin this business as quickly as possible? Free trials, don't drive usage.
Yeah, I wouldn't do free. And I think if you do free, you need to make it clear like what your prices are before they start. Not be like, hey, just like this is the membership. But like, yeah, like a normal weekly price is $65 a week and you're getting, so you kind of put value to it, but also that they know they're like, okay, well, if I do like it, this is the price.
You can also get a card down too as a deposit. Like, hey, like, we grab a card number on file just in case you want to make any purchases in studio. So if you are doing free, please get the card number.
Yeah, I don't
And have whatever reason you want to get it.
Yeah.
I think it's like this episode's more probably about converting the cheaper intro offers into the membership.
But this is, I think this is one of the core problems. Like, very hard to convert if they're cheap.
Yeah.
That is
free is harder than cheap. Cheap is still hard.
Yeah.
Compared to higher, closer to full price.
Okay. Quick break. If you're listening and you wish to learn more about how we help grow and scale Pilates businesses, there'll be a link below to schedule a call with me.
And if you'd like to chat to our team about becoming a Muse franchise partner, then there's a link below to do so as well. I also have a Pilates instructor training business called Spicy Pilates Teacher Training. It is fully online. And if you have anyone that you'd love to refer, come and check it out. It not only goes over how to become an amazing instructor, provides people with a certification, but it also talks about the business of Pilates, how those people will come in and work for you and really hit the ground running. Check it out with the link below.
So data that you've got, so you went from 49 to 79, and you feel as though that the lead flow is kind of similar or a little bit less. What are your thoughts?
It's definitely less.
Definitely less, okay.
Yeah.
But the conversion on the back is higher.
Yep.
But it's not just that too. You're also using less beds in studio.
Yep.
Like, your beds are getting used less. There's less people for the instructors to manage. There's less people for your team to call. Like, sometimes you can have too many, as you said, a big free leads list.
And if you don't tracking your numbers, you just don't know.
And
it's easy just to go off your feel and be like, oh, it seems like we're...
it's busier.
Yeah.
Of course it is, because you've got heaps of people.
Yeah, like 75% of people
free.
are on this like cheap or free thing.
And free people, like, even if they do join, they tend to be the worst type of client. They will default on payments. They will cancel with no notice. They will tell you to go away on your
You're setting them up in the beginning not to value your service.
Yeah.
And especially if you do have a process where you've got staff member that's supporting them or following them up, or even just in class, less people are always easier to manage than if you've got a whole class full and there's a lot of them that are free or cheap.
Yeah, you're better off the instructor paying more attention to those fully paying clients. Yeah.
So we agree that you need to drive usage, number one. Number two, it's important that you price the intro appropriately to get the right people in there. Number three, it's important that you track it. So assume you're doing all those things. Now, the tactical ways to take that 70% conversion up to 80 or 85 or 90. Number one, it would be where both, me and Mitch personally, with our studios, we confirm their first sessions manually.
Yep.
So I really hate when someone downloads an app, they book in for a session, they don't hear from anyone. Are you surprised that they ghost the first workout? Hey, it's Allana from Muse. I just saw you downloaded the app, booked in for your first session. So excited to have you here. If you have any questions before the start, please let me know.
Yeah. Or do you know where the studio is?
Yeah.
Here's where you can park. Here's what you should bring. We can't wait to have you.
Yeah. So that was number two. It was provide the clearest possible instructions.
Yeah.
So the studio is located here. At 5 p.m., there's traffic. Like, you park here. Don't arrive half hour early, arrive 10 minutes early. Wait out the front. The instructor will come get you once the class leaves.
Yep.
They've already got so much anxiety around their first workout. You don't want to lead anything to chance.
They could even say, I am crapping myself. I've never been on a reformer. And then you can say, we have a video explaining the reformer and we're going to send that to you right now. The instructor will walk you through it, but we'll send that to you just to alleviate that stress.
And if you send manual communication, guess what it does? It opens up the window for the next communication, which could be like, hey, let's join.
And you can have automations going, but I think a manual element really helps, especially when you haven't met them and they're, like you said, they could be very nervous.
Yeah.
And you can even just make reference to be like, yeah, you might have got a few of our emails or a message, but like, I just wanted to reach out off my personal number and say hello and anything else that comes with it.
One of the complaints we get, but I haven't got time for that. And then we'd question, well, like, what else are you doing? Like, this is so important.
Doesn't take very long.
Yeah.
One message.
Yeah.
like 1 minute.
Yeah. Prioritize it.
Yeah.
So clear communication. Number 3 would be front load the communication. So in my opinion, you can't really over communicate at the start. So it is
Because you're just being helpful at the start.
Yeah, correct.
At the beginning, there's
Yeah.
obviously, at the end, there's the
Yeah.
intention to
But if you're going
convert.
to dedicate manual resources like staff
Yeah.
for yourself messaging people, you really want it to be before they come, after their first session, booking in their second session, after second. If you don't communicate with them at all and then backload the communication,
Yeah.
they may have already missed sessions. So you want to be so involved in that first 7-day period when they're coming in for the first possible time.
Plus, it's a different tone at the end. They just think that you're trying to convert them.
Yeah.
Well, that's we were always very mindful of that because it'd be like, okay, we know we're gonna have a sales conversation with them in a few weeks. If they don't hear from anyone between initial sales consultation and 2 or 3 weeks later, it's like, oh, here's Mitch again trying to sell me something.
So you did this in our business till the end. And it was like, hey, it's Mitch. Saw you came in 3 times this week. Great job. Really proud of you. Are you free for a chat next week to talk about anything else or whatever? What was your exact message?
So
How did you do that?
Brody would do like our day-to-day stuff,
Yep.
like for new people. And then at the end of each week, I would say, hey, like Mitch here, great to see you made it through a few times this week. Enjoy your weekend. Looking forward to having you in next week. The end of the second week, something similar. And then in the third week, it'd be, hey, good to see you come in yesterday. We're getting towards the end of your program. It'd be great to organize a time to have a call so we can talk through the options moving forward to see what's best. And then after I've already sent them a few messages, they're like, oh, cool, let's have a chat. And then
as opposed to it's Mitch on day 14.
Yeah.
Time to sign up.
We know what Mitch wants.
Yeah, time to sign up.
Yeah.
But just to confirm, just to clarify, so Brody was doing all of that front-loading communication. She was confirming, being clear with the expectations. And what we found, Mitch, the owner, reaches out, really shows he gives a shit.
Yeah.
And then Mitch will reach out again and then organize that call. The other thing too with onboarding, like you can call people to try and convert. I'm a massive fan of text. Like they're already in your business, text them and organize a time for a call. Because there's nothing worse even on that conversion call if they're in a rush, they're walking, they're driving, they're at work. That conversion call is as important as the first call.
Yeah, if you're trying to have a sales consultation, effectively, you want to have it at a time that suits them.
Yeah.
You don't want them driving in their lunch break in a hurry. So that's where you text to organize the call. And that worked. Like I would pretty much have everyone show up to the call. If they couldn't, they would like reschedule with me. They would be in a place that they could talk. And then it always worked pretty well.
Can you share with the audience your exact closing line of how you did it? Thousands of times.
Oh, I can't even remember. It would be because our intro offer price was the same as our membership price.
Yep.
So your initial price was like $66 a week. So it'd be like, we have our 12-month membership, which is the same as what you paid originally, which is $66 a week, which is our most popular option. Or we have a 6-month membership, which is $75 a week. Which one of those would be best? And then they'd be like, I'll just go with the 12-month one, I guess. Like, cool. We'll get you set up.
Got the card on file, we'll organize your next payment to start then.
Yeah, it's that conversation is a lot easier than the initial one.
Yep.
And I think that's what we're trying to communicate with owners. It's like they've done the intro offer. They were not completed it necessarily, but they paid for it. So they're already in. You're not having to convince them that they should come and try Pilates. It's just like, let's talk about things moving forward.
Yeah.
And then that's where you're just, especially with that higher price, it makes things a lot easier. If you're like, hey, this is the price.
There's no price shock.
Yeah, no price shock because it's aligned with what you've initially paid. And obviously with like yours being 4 for $79, like if you start looking at unlimited being like $65 a week or whatever, it's actually better value than what they've done initially.
Yep.
So it's just really leading them and then presenting. I used to like to present 2 options because if you say, hey, we've got 5 options, we've got this,
It's too much.
then they're like, oh God, I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Where it's like, hey, this or that. This is the most popular.
It's amazing how
That's it.
often they would say the most popular option, thanks.
Mm.
People want to be popular.
Yeah, they want to just make the decision that's less risky. It's like, hey,
what do most people do? Oh, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't, sometimes they would even ask if you didn't say like, oh, what one's more popular?
What do people normally do?
Yeah, but it's like, say, hey, this is the most popular one and we also have this one. Like, what would be best? And it's like,
what's it to you?
well, obviously, it's going to be the most popular.
Yeah.
So one thing that we used to do in our functional studios, I'd love to hear your opinion for a reformer, is if a new person would come in and they were a bit overweight, they've had some time off training, they don't feel like good about themselves, we would always try and introduce them to like our biggest raving fan in that exact session. And we'd even almost set them up next to them. Because Lindsay, I always use Lindsay as the example, she was like, oh, this place is great. Like, you've made such a good decision. Like, I was like you 2 years ago, and hearing it from someone else in the session is so helpful. Then Lindsay adds her on Facebook, and all of a sudden Lindsay's inviting her to the next event that we've got. Like, it was so handy. How would you guys do that in a reformer in regards to, I guess, the beds? Do you have like buddies or partners?
No, we don't have buddies or partners. They're not huge studios and there's mirrors, so everyone can kind of follow along. And people are so friendly. Like, if they see a new face, people just come up.
Yeah.
Especially if the instructor's walking them through the reformer and someone or a couple of people can tell they've never done this before. They're so friendly. Like, oh, welcome. You'll love it here. Like, it's just naturally
I think
happens.
for the instructor just to announce it even too isn't the worst thing, in my opinion. Like, hey, look, this is Sally. It's her first session. And everyone make her feel welcome. I'm like, oh,
that's an option, yeah.
Sally.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's friendly. It's supportive.
And then, I guess what we found is without even telling, it's not like we said to Lindsay, hey, make sure you say how great we are. Like, she would just do it naturally. So you probably get a bit of that, especially being a bit of a small studio.
100%.
Everyone's pretty close.
Yeah.
And then if they're going out for coffee with the girls afterwards, after a few sessions, it's like, okay, well, they're in.
Yeah.
So the last point is avoid automation. So in the functional world, you could do a 28-day program and you could have 28 emails go out about nutrition.
Yep.
Water intake, alcohol intake, sleep, steps, broccoli, fiber. But that is not going to convert someone on its own. People think automation is a great way to onboard clients, going back to like, for us, just the manual approach is everything.
Yep.
And it's that communication. Hey, Sally, like, really proud of you. You got through your first workout. That's probably the hardest one you'll ever do.
Yep.
And I'm so glad the instructor could work around your knee to ensure that you felt comfortable. When's your next session going to be? You mentioned that Tuesday night or Wednesday morning works well for you. I'd love to lock that one in now. So much better. And hi, contact name. Great job in your session. See you Tuesday.
Yeah, I think the automations can happen, like as in the information-based ones, or if there's anything you want to share.
Yep.
But if you've got the ability to do it yourself, which I hope most people do, or one of your team members just to add a bit of a manual element to it, that's something that really, well, we did our whole careers really, whether it was us and then Brody in later years. But that was really, really helpful because no one would slip through the cracks.
No, I think there's a place for the automations for sure, but I do think the manual reach outs they're just different.
It's just not quite as good.
No,
they're better than nothing, of course. But
but people know, like they just know it's coming.
Especially if it's email.
And it's like, if you try and personalize automation, they know still. Like, it looks even worse. Yeah. Sometimes you can say, hey, this is an automated message. Don't reply to this number. We'll see you at 5 p.m. on Wednesday. The owner will reach out.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. So having someone touch base with new people and at a minimum after that first class, I think is really important.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, well, someone has taken the time to contact me and they might have been crapping themselves, like you said, and they're like so happy that they've done it. They feel great. And then you've got someone on piggybacking that being like, hey, awesome job. You did great.
We worked with a studio recently and they just had nothing. It was just like download the app, off you go. And they didn't convert many. I'm like, well, what did you expect?
Yeah.
It's really hard. 3 ways to convert into offers. So you can do it after the first session. So someone comes in to Muse, they love their first workout, Allana reaches out manually to organize that phone call and you convert them after the first session. We had a lot of success with that. Sometimes it is called a silent sale, but you still have to have that conversation about membership, the conversation like, hey, this is a recurring payment. You have to get agreement from them. You have to get their card number and just make sure that everything's across the line. I was a massive fan of doing it after the first session. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think, it depends on how long your program is. Obviously with Pilates, most of the time it's like a couple of sessions or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think I would probably think after the second or third one would be ideal.
I think so too.
Because you might, and every now and then you might have someone who's just like, that was great, like sign me out. And then you definitely would. Of course
you do.
Yeah, you're not like, well.
No, wait, you wait.
Yeah. I guess the 3 ways to sign people, I guess you should be open to having that conversation at every point.
Yeah. And it's a bit different if you're actually the instructor, like if you were actually running the sessions and maybe like it's the last session of the day and you're chatting to one of the new people, it might sort of end up there.
Yeah.
I think after, yes, some people would, but that's probably more of a space, like we were saying before, just to say like, hey, great job, awesome to see you when you're coming in for your next one. Yeah. And then after that next one, is probably more of a, I think, suitable time.
Yeah, I think 2 or 3 too. Most people will, if they're coming in 4 times, if you've got a studio that's got quite a number of teachers, they want to make sure that they resonate with a few of the teachers too.
Yep.
That's what I found.
Yeah, I think the half, depending on the length, or regardless of the length, I should say, about the halfway point. So if it's 4 sessions, like after 2, it's like, okay, I've come to 2. Although, might have some people be like, oh, I want to check out these other ones. But a lot of the people be like, hey, I've come to 2, like it's great. I know how it works. I know the parking. I know where I put my keys. Like, I know.
You can feel if it's for me.
Yeah.
So to clarify, on the first session, if someone says, sign me up, take their card number.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
After second session is best practice.
Yeah.
Now we're getting to panic stations after the third and between the 4th.
If you are 4, yeah.
If you are 4. So what has your experience been like with that? Do you find a massive drop-off point if you haven't converted them by the end of their 3rd, they haven't booked in their 4th?
I think the drop-off point comes if they don't come to their 2nd or their 3rd more than exactly when that conversion happens, if that makes sense. Yeah.
So that's your activation point. If they come to their 2nd, they're booked in for their 3rd, they are prime for a membership.
Yes, exactly.
Well, that comes back to the initial point of driving usage. It's like that's a precursor for more people signing up.
Yeah.
Because because people can come once and have not liked it, or they haven't been reached out to, don't come again, they're gone. And that's going to happen.
Absolutely loved it and just got distracted with life and didn't come back. And
but if they do come a second time, it's like, well, okay, this wasn't a fluke. Like I did it, and now I'm doing another one. So it's a pretty good indicator.
The first session, if they sign me up, take my card number. Between 2nd and 3rd is ideal.
Yep.
After 3rd, if they're not booked in for their 4th panic stations, very, very, very hard to convert someone. If someone's done their 4 sessions, I'll let you know in a couple of weeks.
Well,
Don't hold your breath.
I think a good thing about talking to them at the halfway point, whether it's like a 2-week, 3-week, 4-week, like talking to them at halfway, if for some reason you can't catch them, they're sick, they've got something on, they're away, whatever, you can catch up with them in the coming days, and it's not like their package is up.
Yeah, I wouldn't give up.
Oh,
So
no, absolutely not.
They're going to give up, but like
Never giving up.
but if it's like you're starting that conversation there, and if it takes you a few days to have that chat with them, that's okay, because it's not like they've already finished it and then you're trying to chase them up after that.
And I think if they haven't been the 4 times and, they're really interested, but they want to come that one extra time and life got away from them in 2 weeks, of course, you come next week, I'll book it in for you. And then
I missed my 4th session Friday, like my child was sick. Is it okay if I do my 4th session next Monday? Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think I
We'd
can
love
make
that.
that work.
Yeah, I think we can.
It's just we will speak with some owners who they'll do the whole lot, however many sessions or weeks, and then they'll try to plan the conversation.
Share a quick story. We bought a gym in 2019 and Mitch did a session. It was Tuesday night, 6 p.m. I remember it was like yesterday. There was 2 people trialing in that class that we bought the gym off. And there was 2 girls that the owner gave her membership form, said, here, take this home, fill it out, bring it back if you want to sign up.
It's crazy.
Don't do that. That's why we bought the gym. Any final thoughts on converting trials?
I think it's just in, like, if you take away one thing, check in after the first session and start the conversation about the halfway point.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I think to keep
I
it
think
like
even beforehand, like make sure people know where they're going, that they feel comfortable, that they actually turn up, that they come for as many of those.
Yeah. So the 3 key
possible.
points I've got is the cost of the trial really matters in regards to the quality of the person, the conversion. Second to that is you have to drive usage, which is typically done through really good manual communication, front loaded. And the third thing, making sure that you're actually tracking your percentage. Don't go by gut feeling. And to end, track your activation points. If you see a pattern of like after second session, people are more receptive to that phone call, put it all there as opposed to waiting to the end. Final thoughts, Allana? You've done a lot of trials, intros to members.
So many. Be in contact with them.
The same way, like build it and they come to intro does not mean they convert to member.
Absolutely not.
No.
All right, guys, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much for tuning into the Business of Pilates podcast. If you enjoyed the episode and want to learn how to grow and scale the studio, there'll be a link below to book in a call. If you're interested in opening up a Muse franchise or learning more about Spicy and the Pilates instructor course, there'll also be a link for that. Thank you so much. Please share with another studio owner and pass along this podcast.